Sous vide is a term a lot of chefs from fine dining use, and it's actually quite a smart way of cooking, and we can now do it at home. In a nutshell, sous vide is cooking in a Ziploc bag into a water bath that's at a consistent temperature. Now, if that water is at a consistent temperature, it means it's going to stabilize the protein or the vegetable that you're cooking, so it's at the perfect doneness. So I'm going to show you how to cook a fillet of beef, and then all you have to do is just seal it off and serve it with your sides. So this is how we start. Into a Ziploc bag, we want to add some flavours. So I love to add some thyme and some good old bay leaves straight into our Ziploc bag. We'll also add a good glug of olive oil to our fillet of beef. This is around 1 kilo, so the centre cut of it too. And we can season with some salt, so lots of salt, and freshly cracked pepper. Okay. Now just coat it all over, so just give it a bit of a toss in that salt and pepper and oil. I'll pop this in to our Ziploc bag and just right at the base there, and some butter because butter is going to flavour it, so a few knobs of butter. So this does not look that attractive at the moment, but fear not. It's totally worth it because of that perfect doneness that we're going to get on the meat. So before we seal it, we want to use the water displacement method, essentially getting all the air out of this bag. And we do that by popping it into the Home Chef. So that goes straight in there. And just by submerging it and placing it under the water, all of that air is sucked out of the bag, and then we can seal it. And I'm just going to show you. See how all of that air is sucked out? That's what we're after. Now, this is my favourite appliance at the moment because the Home Chef really does cook this at that 58 degrees. We get a nice even temperature in that water, and it even has the sous vide function. So multi-cook, and we'll just scroll down to sous vide. There it is. And this is set at 58, which is going to give me a medium rare fillet of beef. If you want it to be medium, just up it by a few degrees. Whatever temperature you want for your beef is the temperature you want for your water. So 58 is good for me. And this is going to cook for 3 hours. We'll press start and the lid goes on. No need to lock it, and that'll cook for 3 hours. Okay, the fillet of beef has been in the water bath for about 3 hours. Let's have a look at it. Just drain off that excess water, and I'll just pop it on a rack and take it out of the bag. And you'll see that the protein has changed in colour. It's definitely not a pretty colour, but that's okay because we're going to sear it off in the pan now. But I can feel that it's warm and I can feel it's tender. The best thing about this is, if I wanted to pre-do this, so the day ahead of my dinner party, I would now just let this cool and pop it in the fridge. And then when your guests arrive, you just have to sear it in the pan, get some caramelisation on it, and it's ready to go. I'm going to pat it dry with some paper toweling because we don't want any moisture there as we sear it off in some more butter. It smells fantastic. I can really smell the thyme and the bay leaves that I added to that Ziploc bag. You want a really, really hot pan for this. The aim now is not to cook it because this is completely cooked. We just want to get that beautiful crust that we associate with a roast fillet of beef. So a glug of olive oil over the fillet of beef, just so it doesn't stick in the pan, and just coat it all over. We're going to pop it in the pan. Good sizzle. We're going to give that minute on each side, no more than that. And I'm going to show off when I'm serving this. I love to serve this with a jus, and I've pre-made my jus. All it is beef bones that I've cooked down for a long time, a little splash of Madeira, and I like to make a big batch of that, keep it in the freezer for special occasions, just like this. All right, let's turn it over. Oh yeah, it's looking good. We'll give it a little longer so it's seared on all sides. There's there's a nice crust on our beef, so we can add butter. I'll add 2 knobs of that butter, and just to really echo the flavours of the thyme and our bay leaves, we'll add a few more in there. And this is called monter au beurre. So essentially, we're bathing this beautiful piece of fillet of beef in the butter to give it a beautiful gloss and just to finish it off. It also is going to give it some extra flavour. So we just want to melt it, and then we'll grab our spoon and just pour it over the beef. This is the pleasure of cooking right now, which is just finishing off in the pan. You've got the confidence that it's cooked. You just need to plate it up with potatoes and jus, of course. All right, let's take it out. We'll pop that onto our rack just to rest for a moment, and I will pour over the butter. It's the French in me. I can't help it. I love butter that much. Pour it over. Yep, that's my kind of food right there. I'm serving this with some roasted kipfler potatoes. Just pop them on the plate. And our Madeira jus. This is also really good with béarnaise sauce, mushroom sauce, pepper sauce. And I'll just add this sauce to the plate. So just make a little puddle of sauce. And grab a board. We'll pop our piece of beef on that. You could slice this into thinner pieces or into thick medallions. I'm going to cut it into thick medallions. So there's the first one. I just want to show you how perfectly cooked that is. That is pink from top to bottom with a gorgeous crust because we use the Sous Vide technique. It is one of those life-saving tricks that we can always have up our sleeve if you have the right appliances. So I'm going to cut another big piece. I'm going to pop this perfect round into a puddle of sauce. And to finish off, I love these buttered sprigs of thyme, sprigs of bay leaf. We're bringing the restaurant home. Sous vide, not just for fine dining places, you can do sous vide at home. Look at the results. Speaks for itself, doesn't it?